ne yen ene se eno so enyini na ama emabududo na so adwuma ya me ne weka sayin so afa ohwe safa ho asebo se R&B farms enye no nko a ne wo mo so mo edi wo dwuma so wo de eboa se beye na eho no edwade ne bekoso no wo mo ebe so mo kena ama wo mo gitira wo de bedi sa adwuma no
Oswafa Washafa Resem so Emilia Arthur akwapro ewo R&B farms ewo gomonsu ayemo mfimfim mantemu a wakɔhye wɔn mbɔse obeboa ate nsuomu namu a odi frama na ne ba omayimu eso sebe ya wɔn adwuma wɔyɛ no obetimi anya so emfaso mpanimfo eda farms ya no etwiremu a omani so ade unu kɛseɛ ene se onam fish farming yiso betimi amanipa bɛsɛ opepidu ena enya adwuma yɛ mfiedu a edi enimu yi Adom Kasee na Emilia Arthur atwitwe enkomo no wo hye adwuma yeko yimpanimfo saaboi
na aya me do de wonye abanwo nkitahuzi dado na de mama aka no mana ma aba fofra enti nkitahuzi a R&B farms wonye abanwo no ye behwem ye bebrebu mu na ya ahwem se ode ye tuado de ma otena ye betuado de ma so ode nsesa kakra so bemu so a ye behwe na nsesa na aba but say edwuma a ote dem a oye Ghana fo ankasa na waye edwuma ote de ya na sa aba ne beka won ho a na oboa ho na obeboa Ghana man nankasa
Enwechi Director of Operations R&B Farms Benjamin Texan etwiremu a de bema aban etimi agya galamsey ene se miame ahodo wetu afomagudi ensase no ya asey no wonfanye ensuomunam isanse ni nyina wo benya sika afiri mu se de wonya galamsey no a
ensu na wode yanam no ana womde ye galamsey no enti yanhwe ne ye ne yensu ana na kyerese wanhwe ye akina kwa anyam na enam nye no kwa ayezi sisi ano enam no mpo na yetumi nya wo yensu mu ne ade no kwa yenya bi ana na ye bo ne ye de nya enam no kwa anso na sisi ano galamsey no esen enti asema da won de kwan ben na mmom ye be use aquaculture na de help solve galamsey problem no ana me kan de ye betumi de aquaculture mo ma solve galamsey problem
oni nyina mu no mrahye bedwane ogina momamfo Gomua Central Kwame Asare obi adodo na afa ne A+ enso hye boso bebo amabu na wo Gomua Central sebe ye a obenya adwuma ye ne senti obibia nka na koma ento ne yem
enti ho a wo adwuma ho aka because of enyama wo de dem adwuma kuyi onya na onya no we are very sure that onunti na His Excellency John Mahama we to minister the omra ha na mbɔhwɛ na hwɛ ma obutumo bɛya wo betuma adwuma no mu kena na mbabunu na Gomua Central for in general no ho anya adwuma ye
na ewiemu ensakraye eye ade ba ko a edi wiase nyina enya amaman ahodo na atom ho si won mo ehye ne ko na enam so Climate Chronicles a yede Adom TV yede brewo no ye ne omafo bi edi nkomo bi so mo de omunim efa climate change ho ne sunsanso a ewo so ebi mo so atre omadwen atre
Climate Chronicle and ye aba be PMO our University of Ghana eye Legon ye ne esukufu ewa ha ebedi nkomo se ye ka climate change a ye ewiemu sacha ye ene esunsunsanso a wo mo enima na esukufu yi ensem a wo mo ne Adom News eche bi no momientie bi
ewiamu nsesaye ene nsunsuaso ede bra yetimamfo ene nioma akate se emmoa ene ennua eno na ye frɛ no climate change no ota kwhwe mu ayesa obi ayesa frɛ no global warming ni nyina ewo climate change no ne nsisaye na ede ba no
when them say most of the times every season be our there always say like we are dry season and a wet season times say ede ba nti say bua say nso to sa time say na be area bo sa time say na say ma na be climate change.
Within the year, no, there's a period of time in Kyoto, and there is a period of time area sobo. But these days, no, last year, my way I'm in Kaka found say na area ebo pa insionento bebre, and I believe say it's because of our activities as a country. In a man called Basa.
Yes, so etwaso ene acting head no ene wo Department of Physics ewo University of Ghana Legon eye Dr. Allison etwetwe nkomo
too much heat the crops will fail. If we have too much flooding also we'll have problem with our food security. And that also leads to issues of national security. If you don't have enough food to feed population, you have to input more. But then also, when your water dries out and you don't have water because water is life, you also have the issue of national security.
Odi ato eye nadmo ene mpinifo a womo ekabie se womo entu anamo enhwe se omanfo a womo tete eye ensuan no.
It's better to have early warning systems to be able to kind of predict or forecast when we are going to have high levels of rainfall. We can develop early warning systems which will be able to help agencies like NADMO, the Red Cross and others to be able to quickly evacuate people when our models tells us that we are going to have heavy downpour of rain.
Na medewe ko efnifni mantemu na fe yahya yemuhwie yade eye cholera no ewo sebe sabosome kakrani agene ho me na ye nipa dodo ewo honom no anya yade ne no na Ghana Health Service ade na wotwesi honom a wode vaccination eko ye enura womo fo no womo de kwaso manfo na num ene ebi nso empane a ekwakoboa na ma yade no abafom
yes adan yelo ye begina keke ye chiaka omana lu chiaka obiala mfa bia mete oni ti say ye pede mpontu ba na 24-hour economy mfaso ba ma yensu 15 months ma ye kwamucha onu nda ye baye bibia ori ma yense sika o say na the medri a wada be obotum ka wada to so yi machine na hairdressers na do wada medin model sheduma Saliye ngwa gwabonte agende liye ngwa na kochiaka ama oba
Baye America krani ama ne boy fi Ghana Health Service beto dwa echire mu ese ayamtuo cholera yade no yati atese wo my Ghana emu na mpanyufo ahyase a wo modern hihye egu akwemu eno kopie mu finfi mantamene emu a o the vaccination program ahyehyɛ so ewo hono ne senti mini banku ano omanfo no mbebro hasa 300 ena ode won mafantete emu sede baye adrui ombetuma huru kwan a obesifa de amanfo Sanso na akopie muso adura won mo de omafantete emu won dodo eye oha adiwoche Adom Kasee ne Professor Samuel Kabaya won ye Director General Emma Ghana Health Service Shenkomo no o the same say na tuja.
So since last week we've been training people. We started by training about 30 people as TOTs, that's trainers of trainers, and then at the end we have 300 people trained from the community. One important thing we did look at has to do with security. We don't want to bring people who are actually not from the community, so all these people are health staff within the community who have been trained so that they can actually be easily identified, and they will move in a team of 3, and then they will move within the community and make sure that everyone gets vaccinated.
And wachi eko wachire panyi ya onu ye finfi mantam no soafo enso so de so se
ye be no yamina adma yenya edura wadu so enuma obobon ban ombon ban nkwese awie yo be busume ba sa na nan bi na mom ye humpefe de ya be azo ban de ye bedi ya wi wo potem onu nti ya hye de na wachi na awie memin de wotwa busum no nechiri ye bomodin da no be fi busum biara bokwa memin de otwetu no ye ba hye de ye be clean exercise ye be sese yem potem na abra ye kwa covid no so ye huru ye nsanwa ma oye hu de covid time ye nya cholera kumpo baby a ndo chere covid mpa no ye hu na ofi baby ba npo itumbo ba ode na cholera on momo yen tia no ye ntumi ambo ba nti e be se na nanum da wombo an
na ye toaso a ye na etoda bi obi beka se woma womo ya ban dwuma ni nyuma hodo abosum etuomoka na ban enyamu bi ete eseto no ya no mododo e wo man ni mu no e wo fom ogi wo mo so a wankasa ndi omudwuma no a no dodo ye ha mu nchichemu aduowotwe na se wo hye sa ha mu nchichemu aduowotwe mu aduonu so 27% ena womo esikasem ene eto ahodo no wotumi de koma aban na aban so de bo man ho brado na nimdefo che se e wo fom ye pa we ya kontabu ya aban akontabu for Ghana Statistical Service womo dia betuja.
Ghana Statistical Service the National Report on Productivity, Employment and Growth ababetuja ebo koko se emfa ho se adwuma eye ankorankora adwuma enipadodo na ena eye ye nipa be so hamu tichemu adu wotwe ena ewo mu no enhyeda enso aba emfasika ema omayi sikasem emu sikasem enkoso ya ede wo hawo ebre omanfo nkrata ni kiremu se afi apema hankro ne aduokunu ba akudi kosi afi mpenu dunkunu mu adwuma ye nyini no ekosoro ohamu chichemu miensa echiripo mienu adema ne nyini saa bre no eyefoma gudie ene sikasem entotoye idi ho manufacturing sector didi ho manufacturing sector ya enyini ohamu chichemu dunan a efra afi mpenu du miensa de kosi afi mpenu ne aduonu mienu mu nanso wonu mu enye adwuma ye saa bre ne mu ohamu chichemu mienu echiripo num ye twese enwuma biebie wo man Ghana mu no enhyeda enkoso sanso ena fomagudie adwuma yekuo no nso enyini kakra sanso ena efomagudie adwuma yekuo no enyini ye nanso wonmo ma wonmo adwuma ye no ketewa bi enkrata yi nso emi yehunu adwuma ye ene eho akatua nsonso ya edemu ewomu se adwuma ye fatisi kasem insurance professional services wo makatua ekosoro de nanso eba ne se efiefie mu kuaye edwadie ene nsiesie adwuma ye a eno de enkoso kora eho sikasem nso ewo fom na wode ko asoye nchichemu a efomagudie tu a efa adwuma ye ho ahyentiade ene ma enipadodo na adwuma a eho sika no nso enhyeda enkosoro sebeye na sawa hawe nyina ban betimi aso anonti onkrata ne mu no Ghana Statistical Service adwenkyere ene sebeye anka ban manani enko mfididwuma ho pa na afenso wontre kuaye adwuma ne mfa hyehyeye pa ebeboa ama ankrankra adwuma yeko nso ankrankra adwuma ye etimi enyini
na swafo abedi echa mampani abonidin ayi no yewra Thomas Sampem nyako no ena wokọ akodi ne dwuma e waso ehwe oman sikasem entotoye so enura vetting committee okopia omanim no wote se eba no DDEP domestic debt exchange program ya ban no ede eye omanfo bi NC akwasase no ene ehu sikatua no se kobase wo mu di hu dwuma wo mu yamanyosem enfiri musanse emokra eba no sikasem fom ho ene se de wo mu dwuma die tie
Mrashe bedwani a wogina ma wona ewaso Jaman ya wonokuru ya Ghana mampanyini ebondin so pese wo ye oswafa bedi akira obehwe man Ghana esika semeso Thomas Sampem nyako ekopie mu ewo man Ghana mrashe bedwafie wa abra appointments committee eto wonsa efre no ototo na no abra okodru honom no ode futu e mampanyimfo senkebe ya sika ya NPP aban no wekire mu ese wo mujano honom ema bondholders ana wo mweka domestic debt exchange program na ho no edi akasakasa bebre na abantinkebe ya wonjai so de amanyonsem foriforim.
But I think that we should rather concentrate on the good news that this sends to the market, the signal that it sends to the market, rather than trying to say that, we also did this, we didn't do that. I sit at a very disadvantaged position, so to the German, this is all I can say about this. Thank you.
Aswa, Osaka de kan hobium say.
My minister Engineering to use technology to ensure that we rake in more revenue. Since my nomination, I have had people giving me different suggestions. We have officials of GRA who are so experienced in this, and I believe that if we provide them with the right leadership and incentive, we will be able to do it.
The crack Okasa ye defend ya neboa akosoro my Ghana mu nam so bibia abon so akosoro ewo mai
because we all experience it and we helping students, and so that promise to support them for the payment of admission fees is something that I think will go a long way to help the first year students in our universities.
Na yebejina ewo vetting committee ni dwumadie so a Ebenezer Okletetela bi swafo abedi echa mampani abonedi a wokọ afisem wono so ekyerese sede nkrofo de ne nam IGP Dr. George Akufu Dampare na womo ede pressure eto mampani so eka de ombeka bia no wo se adwobre obi anya sa dwuma no ema mampani wono kasa nenim de ye ene wototo
Swafa abedi echa waboni din se o mehwe fisem so Ebenezer Okletetela bi ebo manfo kokko se bi no ma hyase kekansem bi efa posidom sa hine George Akufu Dampare ho ewo NDC amamuo mu Ifribra NDC amanyoko no edi nkonim no na dodo na ebusa efa IGP adwuma ye ho se wo beyi na ase wono ankasa na betwa adwuma no eso bebre na so atwere nkrata koma mampanyini se beyi a wonje ne dibre nim firi nsem saa sem be pie mrahye bedwafia brana ototo oswafa bedi echa wono na ebehwe fisem so ano a de santire yi etudwa.
Mr. Chair, as I said, I wish I had that authority, but I don't have. And the appointing authority may be looking at other things other than what you think. is the case. I don't know whether this is a very good platform for me to give you a particular example. Sometimes you think you are doing your best as a football player, but your coach will substitute you. What he sees outside, sitting on the bench, is different from what is happening on the field. What you see on the field. So let us leave it to the president, the appointing authority, to decide.
Enwechi bisane semfa kwan obefa so ama enkran traffic esisi ewo kwantemponso no eswate se police check barriers nhyehyeye no obehwe na wasakra mu.
When you get out of a delta, just when you think you have some relief, there's another traffic. This time around, it is not as a result of the number of vehicles, but police have mounted barriers. One at Oyarifa, another one at Uibi. When you climb them, you get to Obusuman, there's another one. When you get to Latte Junction, there's another one. Sometimes it can be frustrating. But then they come out based on the kind of intelligence that they have. So would look at all that.
Na enkomodie ye mo no yen sign enko vetting committee wo mo dwumadie na so mrase bedwafie Dr. Clement Park no mampane abonedin so me so afa bedie tire yo be hye enwomasua ehosem so yen hye se na nototo no eko ewo ho.
Who deliberately omitted from his CV that he led the very powerful outfit in Commonwealth Hall as a deputy chief vandal to Mr. Egbert Fable, Jr. Congratulations, Chief.
I'm grateful, Mr. Chair.
Life in Commonwealth Hall, I believe, still reflects in your actions, and it's embedded in your DNA that truth will always stand. Anyway, Chief, let's deal with this issue of indiscipline and the use of drugs in schools. It's something that you need to assist your minister in fashioning a way with parents to deal with. We all gloss over it, but we see it from the primary school level through to the JHS, secondary schools, universities. It's an issue. They call something weed toffee, tramol, cakes, and what have you, biscuits. It's something that I believe going to assist Honorable Haruna Idrisu and the entire educational sector must look into. So I want you to tell parents and the country what you believe can be done to assist in solving this very dangerous issue that pertains in our tertiary institutions. Thank you.
Grateful, Mr. Chairman. And I acknowledge the terrible omission of a position I occupied in the Great Commonwealth, of which I continue to be proud of. So for the vandals, do accept my sincerest apology. I will do the needful within the context of the vandal tradition.
You can't sing here.
Mr. Chairman, the honorable member has raised a very profound issue that has the potential of destroying the investments that we have made as a nation and as parents. Because we are speaking about the future of this nation. And I believe the minister, knowing him from our days in Commonwealth and here in Parliament, is not oblivious to this challenge as well. It is going to take a concerted effort. Parents, educators, and the institutions to address this issue. But we ought to also instill values in our children. It is not just sufficient to nurture them and to support them, but they must have values. And that is why I believe that as a nation, we must make values an important component of our education. I'm grateful.
Chairman, I don't have a follow-up on that, and we'll be watching the space for the interventions you'll be introducing. If there's one thing that we as policymakers or politicians must be ashamed of ourselves, and as a country, is to always read about schools under trees. Just about a week ago, the education minister stated that we still have about 5,000 schools under trees. And, Chief, to read such stories is disheartening, especially after 68 years of independence and the kind of resources that have gone with both NDC, MPP, whatever, PNDC. We don't have any excuse. So if there is one thing that you have to do with Honorable Idrisu within the next 4 years, to at least halve the number, Ghanaians will be very happy about that. Do you have an idea of the budget coming to Parliament in 2 weeks and the kind of arrangements being made towards the resolution of this? Thank you.
Most grateful, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I have no idea about the budget that is to come to Parliament, but I believe very strongly that I would be briefed in due course. But I must agree with the honorable member with regards to the spectacle of schools and the trees. It does not befit the status and age of our nation. But by and large, it's a product of our inability as a nation to keep pace with the provision of educational infrastructure. So as the population is growing, and of course, we continue producing offsprings, but we are not providing the educational infrastructure to match the growing population. So when communities begin to increase in population and they have children sufficient enough to start a school, they initiate by beginning their own schools. And invariably, most of those schools would be under trees. So it is a national issue, and I believe on this we should be united in finding the resources, even in these challenging times, to address it, because education is a right. I'm grateful.
Thank you. I'm told you just had instituted a fiscal planning unit at the ministry.
Yenina mrasebe je vetting committee dwumade so yentwan ho yebade aka e watre nyina ebeto aso. Mame na wase se ogusoa e kame ho awie na ye to aso na wotwe mu nyina mpanyefo to esi won mo ebodawro eja ho ahobambo na eno na chief fire officer no ye in charge of safety e de atodwa ese ente wo mo betie esi kroma konyumakwa wodo ne afiafie mu no mo ba na hyehye wo so de gu akwanso na wo bo ho ban efija ho no enya dwumade a emra no ene obedi.
Deputy Chief Fire Officer awono ene share safety so Daniela Mawuse into wode kokobo ama adwumayeku ankrankre ye wo man Ghana mu sesesei Ghana National Fire Service ba be ye enhyehyemu ahwe kwan manfo faso bo wo ho ewo wadwumayeku emu a obi bia edum jabambo ho hyehyeye woni so no emra ene ne bedie wakasa wa afempinu ne aduonu fire safety week afasha se asenti edaso ye fire safety a key to national development and a foundation for safety and security ena ochire hia se obi bia beda ne ho so no wapan hyehyeye ene ahobambo sebeye a trenchen bisi a obetimi abonya pade no manfo eho ban
bomodin say ye benya fire prosecutors a yebetimi ahyamke na ye ba inspection na wan nya de dumja adwuma ne chese so ya ye wotumi ye betum sese ye de ni break akra be shem ama omanfo na hu se e de ni break shem ye be a bit aggressive because ne hu ne say ne mebu ha ye betuma prevent it since okay
Enwachi and a chief fire officer Julius Kuno and Sudi just say dumja adwuma ye ko na ye krado so bebo omanfo ho ban senti or the to Ghana for him se kwan of association niema wo montene so no wo bejaye na woni ya wo pie nso a bibi e de anyina mohoden edi dwuma wo fie no wo se wotimi dum no se be ye a enkofa ejahyehe emma.
The Ghana National Fire Service remains resolute in its commitment to public safety. In 2024, we have intensified our fire prevention strategies through public education and enforcement.
Medewe konfrinfrin mantem odumja ensensem ya no panyu no na hwe odumja adwuma ko no so e wo mantem ne mu de adesato ahemfo ne assemblies awodo no so wo emomodin a na wo mkeka mo sas no mo empe edan bi ensisi na wo mutumi fanye fire stations na emwa se de be yo mbetumi akọ eja e wo potem wo no mo ebrano.
Central Regional Fire Service Commander ACDO Melinda Mary Atiga Mensa editor nanoma hemfo any assemblies in penifo enim se wo mo edumja adwuma ekono no ntimi bie fire stations o mensina wodo mu a ebetimi aboa ama edumja adwuma ekono adwuma a wo ye no akọ enimu ochire mu a mensina wodo bebre won finfin mantemu a wo mu ni fire station senti se jato baby a eya na ehun senkaye no akoye de wo de sansem we to jo wabra wo mo pa fire safety week ehun toma e wo mensine no emu
ena baby no mu no ye ni fire post se no say ye nya fire post ba ye challenge ni say ye ni baby an nkrofo no bedra a omo be ye adwuma no there is no tender but say nkrofo ne ye nya accommodation man nkrofo no omo beba with extinguishers so that say a journey start here omo betimi use no as an omo free tender na abebua enti na say no me na me go himane konfini eyi pese de mbie eyi ne bi wo enti omo nya accommodation a ye be any bokumpe no ne nyina wo ye de ato nhihye wo say ye be
enwechi adwumayefo bi e wosiudo magazine enso efasa akonya ne so editor regional command no anim sebeye anka wo mie fire post ketwa bi e wo magazine ho sebeye a atoyenchem bi esi bebia wo ye adwuma na wo betimi aso ano entem
abana abako ya he otire ku aza ye ni aye jamu adwuma cars cars ni we use petrol diesel na gas ni use na ya de so na se ya fire post ka kredimpo e wo ya ha nchobo buaye esno won baba pada sisi ni ya de no ye gwa doso na cars ni so abayi na wa ya afofo ndi ogbani e ne jadem ndi esewo ndi wonye ba bigiti bi kura bu ma mo shop bombo na so podo do ya fire service office mba wo ba ye bobo e kwana ma won wa ba bibi ka kra ho na bibi ani an wa ya fa sa man another zebia wonya dem pono ba me ka ba kumbo asi ha de hode mpona ze bibi ni na driver betu akodum na ma na akepe
na bia ye dru no eye Adom Trotro Prince Osu Asiedu na mo ewo agbogbulusi entoabo na wosofo no hwe eye yempotem eni ahunidie ho sem so wode akogiremo ewo won ma scrap dealers woni omo edi enkomo yenkohwe sedia ekoi
ye bisa se oba ye observation ti say
me feel say nyama bi ekoso na enye the burning of electrical waste materials no na omo initially na your collection center na omo disa materials ba na eto but they are no longer coming to sell na me person me feel say what was the reason I didn't na omo pese omo to ade no my collection center no me ba no omo raise nyama bebre. One, mo say prices no. Prices the yeton it is down if you compare it to global market prices. And three, there are some copper materials no. This materials. And the other one, materials be after removing the copper no. There are ways how they will collect those things. Okay, so what I think we can do, yani leaders so that we come to a negotiated, agreed prices for some materials to prevent them from burning. And two, your control burning system, where collection center, so that never the to me yet is burn, so that we prevent them from burning them. Our control burning system, no, you'll be able to burn it without creating some danger and to the environment. The other one, some materials the waste materials no. We'll find a way to see how we can collect it. No, there's a heap no, where the fire has been Zoom Lion or more waste recycling center. But in Zoom Lion almost set idea no on fire, but we smokers and so they say almost constitute almost form a task force. And the task force they will be ensuring that people don't burn, at least to help. So basically these are some of the things we are looking at. Maybe yes, we are better looking if we can establish some factories here, and it's possible. Ministry of Environment, your foundries, system. Now you be producing not any basic spare parts. Maybe in future we may be thinking of having one here, depending on the policy decision of government, and then we'll be able to solve some of this problem.
So many baby or baby more I
know the ministry. My concern as a minister for environment to find out how we can stop the burning. But our responsibility as to where they settle, no, it is not my responsibility. So I can't speak to that. Mine is just to look at how we can prevent the burning of some materials, any other rubbish, to prevent it. But the responsibility to determine whether they can still be here or they don't need to be here is not within my control.
All right, also for our environment, science and technology, Ibrahim Mutala Muhammad and any din komo Adom trotro so abra obeshia scrap dealers one more agbobulushino nuanumi editu nanim ohaw awodo bi a womo ewom baby a womo beton ade womo ni bi ene se womo abaha ana enade a womo etutu free fridge mu any TV ho no aya na womo ehye no na osoafo kase won pese won behye no enti no womo enton emfama asoye no sene the friend say open burn a womo ehye no ni na ebeba fom me na me di mate wo trotrom say trotro no ma mate na egisu say awe
Prince Oswasi do na wotene Canadian men so meje so ene abena pokua when na mede we kodo me kwa benya baton person so organ East Mansini mu a MPP amanyoko na chitafo bi de sobo ebo kanem ma se bedwani a na wono aso ejina mu ema wo mo onabo Sara Adjosafo se wo ka ho bi na ase wo mo ekoti a MPP nkodim die e wa baton person so afie twam emra se bedwa akansi ni mu.
Constituency Chairman Emma MPP amanyoko no ewo dome kwa benya Robert Osebonsu esusu se kanemra shebedwani Emma dome kwa benya Adjosafo ana wo munim se wone omanfo bi aka wone ho abom ana wo mo enam eka kire omanfo se die nti a MPP amanyoko no eni nkunim ewo sampatemu no executives a wo mo ewo MPP ana mane ba ne sa na mami amwo omkura ewo campaign a wo mo yeye ewo dome kwa benya no
me ka bio say 2020 elections campaign Honorable Sarah Adjosafo that launch on one campaign she wasn't there me na me gina mu ye bibia wa ma onwa ni kai wa ma ye course yi wa ma ba kokra enti se na na chidifo e di blame no e ma obi say obi na across defeat Adom kwa benya enye yi
chairman no stand in semfofo say etudwa
enti misramu a adwuma ne de ye adwuma nkasa ye wase ye bia se be wini seat no onyame adaroma ye na so che de mo amonim no enye Adom kwa benya nko ana apathy no affect ye all over ɔman no baabiara Ashanti region your stronghold hokra sa na ɔman no esie
na yen freedom ekwabenya enko awutu senya east abaton pesua no so Joseph Chuku Emeka anya emfina dununkru 29 years oye Nigeria ni na senkrofo adeda nadwo na wakobora obi dan mu achese ntade egu ho ene hangers nyina wotwen edipie wo match no de wo sake kano Adom Kasee amane boni Kofi Agye echi
won mu etete ben echemu a omoti dede bi freedom ba akobem ne senti otu mirika kodam ho no mu a okoduru ho no omuhu se Joseph Chuku Emeka abawura dan ni mu a wa mu dan ni se no kra master key wo de sanchire mu yitudwa
da ho nam se obi ya room ba ko obi bu dan ni meti gigigi like obi woso edan no ba bi se yenu ba ko I fine ana waba na oba abeda nti me na me bra pe be from say dan no o ma bie ni ba o ma mbu key o ma mbu padlock no because we no shame na me say adan ba so no be say because padlock mbu ye was spare key or so ni spare key no only get bi na ba ha you no problem and the pie na kwa upia kwa actually a guest room nti hanga ni we na ho no wasase sashe no wotutu odan no a ode ko obi anim no oba bia so nti on pe no chere say one oba na ba obi anim oba preko na ba
enu achi Chuku Emeka echire mu a eyebonsam ena jeje no mani di sa abone no ne senti omanfo emfa nche no nenso woni nyina mu no ode no akoma aposifo a wo hye enhwehwemu ase
that is Pentecost I wanted to go then I gave Pentecost go collect what I won't collect before I come to the Marina. Why did you stay there? But all this thing I just never walk I swear. You don't know why you stay there? I know I even gave a drop I don't just know. And I just know I'm 29 years. Yes. Please.
Na efa yedru no eye Premtobre Kasee kejuwa nankasa Eric asiedu buade teacher Eric didi doso meka ba ko dana
ngahwe do kan na mesma kan de renya yibia anu no mejo so anya do bibi e fine
ya
kama me do ne ma ne bia banti ye pon home ye pon home haye kwa
me ba cha ye kwa ba da kejuwa Kasee ato
All right, fantastic afternoon. Yeah, Semana Australia. Good evening, Semana 12 Premtobre Kasee. Ma soma fi Mrs. Jamna ho na me de yaka eto aso ma ho. And then also makai me this na me chadi on koko. I say, say my bot type na me duty my bot type na no e mankwa. Mankwa eni utinwifo abeji. Mu so mpa bo anya obeji, mpa bo ho yefu obeji, squat ade to atete wa obeji. Say, me ba pe no bi adwane. Aha. But vim. Ya bande ne aba na you see by before ya san yare no kakra wo be hunhun ankwala de something dey inside but kitso bi de kakra wo se ne ma no ne ya ka sa ajigo se ko Santos baby o start ball no aha Santos nya dia te adisab na poku admo ya no so o call retirement no akọ back to ngoko no akọ start reporting yes smart no nkrasi gwase nema kona bia wa hye wo Santos ball back mu nya sam ketwa o peja fi ko no bia mfa na no kwota na wase ala malamenyi kakra wo akese yese o jibot mi to twefan ono na ha no jibo a obegina so sa na etwetwa de sa je se ko Brazil da chairman je di wa share first goal and why assist brab ni no miensa bi dia kan wa je se obeso o ya na ka next world cup no otimi ko bobi edema Brazil na fe bi o ye ne ho na wasan aba back to Europe aba besia kan ba se ne bobo ndie de kaka kon de anyanye ye de ne ho agim sama me kona no he kona kiki babia na kona ne da no mo ka so be pass o pejja ye zoom sra edem just hono ye so jebo to twu bia ni mbobo cha mu nyina tema no swa no sa no twetwe mu nyina ne se basa kokko fa no ne ade a na ene de eye blada throwback Tuesday bia me de abanya sam keto pese utie video di twi ko a wati omu no me ba na ma me so be kare o kan ye na fe commentator no kasa ne bi o ho a ese ma me sound start me enye na me nim se French se twi omu kesa kan fo e ba bia o uti commentator na go ni share pen no say o person che say defender no a o se akwa ya brabaji Kasee so uti no o kesa onjiru akwa ya brabaji Kasee e French mu me nim se twi om ani akwa je se say bre se French twi om ane Akoya bre baji Kose so na me gina me dia ma aya Mrs. Jamina wa bre baji Kose baji Kose
Medewo eko ye appointment money agina ewo Achimansa district eho na ye Abenase Health Center and ye senior or ye health officer or mo dia desre eto mpanyifo nim se ba bi omudi omudwuma no ehun behia so betumi atremu ti mpanyifo mfa kato kaso na womra emeso masene wo sakwan no so.
Senior nursing officer awo Achim Abenase Health Center Collins J e de atudwa se ehun behia pa se omanfo a womo ewo bie etimi be yomomoa na womo health center yi etimi efa ntuma pafra na womo nso eboa ma omanfo enya apomuden papa ewo sam patemu ho oni Adom news nsentwofo twetwe nkomo no wodi tudwa se
na enema bia ye de aduma se ba bia mmea beda mmema beda mufra beda ye nibi wa ha nti ama ayarfo no ba wonyina woda ba bi fa ko eno so emwa ye aduma no yana ye design facilities no ya chichechicheche na yatumi enya baby a obi abeda nanka ni papa mu yenya saa nyama na baby a me abeda baby a mufra beda na beboa na ama aduma no akoso.
Abusuapeni Oforiata Audi Achim Abenase Citizens Group ema omokoye adoye ekoche enema hodo obi mu ema eye health center no ene Adom news nsentwofo twetwe nkomo no wodi nsem sei atudwa
me buy na children's ward na omuni farm horse me kwa me wura ho mitimi sa ne wa me ba be kofi kwa na osaya because I was sharing that in the bar na omuni farm kwa be born nti ka me kuma say ene me mpa nipa ne en fan en fa mo for the meantime nti me ka say yigina ya bra mo fan ma ko enwotwe nose masks and gloves are between the ayejuma nti yaka ye ho abom sabrasefo ma ye pese ekwa akiri na brasefo ma e wa kontuom yat na obi wo mwa bi a wotini de beka ye ho ne de bo akra ne kama
na ensroma season 7 enra nano kwasiada wo hwese de hip life nkwada yi to nwom di asa ma wo a wotifie na wo hobi so wogi wani na efe pa na yenkwa ne yenkwa hwese de koye ne agora nkwada no ediye na mamenyina ensemi so na wi Premtobre Kasee boy de bani nyina no me fancy din amegye so ene abena pokua wenie madawase amamu ene hwefa ya fofaya ejumadi eto aso makraw